Guys, on this installment of PJ Cook Sexy Food, I'm going to try to make Savoiardi, also known as ladyfingers.
The ingredients list for our ladyfingers is as follows. We're going to start off with 4 whole eggs separated. We're going to need 1/2 cup and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to set my oven to 300 degrees. I'm going to line a couple of sheet pans with some parchment paper and set those aside. The first thing I want to do is I want to combine our 4 egg yolks as well as the 1/2 cup of sugar into our medium mixing bowl. And then with the hand mixer, I want to beat these together until it's light and frothy. That should take about a minute or 2. It's been about 2 minutes, and you can see how it lightened up and how smooth that looks. What we want to do now is we want to add in our vanilla extract, our kosher salt, and the flour. And we're going to whip that up until it's well combined. Let's see how nice everything is well combined. We're going to set this on this side, and we're going to focus on the egg whites. So in the bowl of our stand mixer, we're going to pour in our egg whites, and we're going to turn this on until it gets to a nice stiff peak. Now that our whites are all nice and whipped up, we're going to bring back our original bowl that had the yolks, the flour, the sugar, the salt, and the vanilla. And we're going to take half of these egg whites and introduce them into this mixture. And the first thing we want to do is we want to lighten this up, so we're just going to fold these in gently. We're going to just go from the outside to the middle. From the outside to the middle. I'm cutting into the batter. I'm not stirring it. I'm not mixing it. I'm folding it gently. And I'm going to go ahead and fold in this first batch until there's no more streaks of white. That first batch of egg whites folded in. I'm going to go ahead and introduce the rest. I'm going to do the same thing here, is I'm going to fold them just till it gets well incorporated and there's no more streaks of white in our batter. So now that our batter is all combined, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out a zip top bag and I'm going to pour half of our batter into that zip top bag to start. Set the rest on the side. Pull up the bag, close it up. And what I've basically done is created a pastry bag out of a zip top bag. I went ahead and brought our sheet pan over. I'm just going to cut the tip of this bag off. And now I'm going to pipe our batter into about 3-inch lengths. And I'm going to do this leaving about 1/2 inch apart. As you can see what I'm doing, I'm just going to keep doing this. They don't have to be as uniform. This is what makes it look homemade, not store-bought. Okay, with that first pan piped out, we're going to set these aside and pipe out by second pan. Ladyfingers piped out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the powdered sugar we had reserved. I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar we had. I'm just going to give it a little stir together to combine. And then you could either put this into a sieve, or in my case, I'm going to use a sifter that I've set over a plate. Pour everything into the sifter. Pull over our pan of ladyfingers, and then I'm just going to give them a little coating over the top. This is going to give them a nice crunch on the top and give it a really nice finish. So I'm going to go ahead and sift up the rest of these and then pop them into our 350-degree oven. So it's been 25 minutes. I just took them out of the oven. Any place where they may have bled together or are touching, just go in there now with a spatula or a knife and just break it ever so gently. That this way they become separate. And now we're going to let these guys cool on the pan for at least 30 minutes. Or until they are completely cold. So I went ahead and I removed our ladyfingers of Savoiardi from the baking sheets, and I stacked them on a plate. You could store these in an airtight container with layers of plastic wrap or parchment in between, and they will keep for several days. If they start to feel like they're getting a little soggy, you could pop them back into the oven to get them nice and crisp. They're a wonderful addition to a cup of espresso or to have with a cup of coffee in the morning, or to use in recipes, which I'm going to do in the next installment, and I'm going to show you how to make tiramisu. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I hope you tried it at home, and thank you for tuning in to PJ Cooks Sexy Food. See you later, guys.